Right. So if you want to start becoming more responsible, then you have to start adding more responsibility in your life, in your daily routine, your daily habits. A lot of people, they just start their responsibilities when they make their bed or when they brush their teeth in the morning. And although those things might seem very common and like meaningless to a lot of people, there's a lot of people there's genuinely other people out there, who have such a shit mental health, who are in such a bad place that those things are genuinely hard to do. It's genuinely hard for them to wake up in the morning and brush their teeth or do their bed, or even wake up in the morning, you know? And so we've taken those things kind of for granted, most of us, right? But we need to understand that if we want to become more responsible human beings, right, we need to start adding some sort of responsibilities to our life, some sort of meaning, right? I think responsibility and meaning and purpose, they're kind of like correlated to some sense because once you have a purpose in your life, once you have like some sort of meaning to your life, then you know that you will always be responsible for achieving that mission, for achieving that goal that you've set for yourself, for, that in accordance with your meaning. And that will essentially be your responsibility. You are responsible for achieving that success that you have set out to do, to achieve, right? So a really good way that you can ever just start becoming as responsible as you possibly can is to really meditate on the idea of meaning and really meditate on what you believe is your meaning in all of this, in all of life. Because all meanings are different for everybody. We're all different individuals. We all have different beliefs and aspects that we find important for ourselves. So this is more of a personal journey here, more of a personal kind of reflection. And if you can find a sort of meaning that you can hatch onto, that you can just latch onto and be fully focused on, or try to spend like as much of your day focused and thinking about that thing, then you will naturally become more responsible. Then you will naturally feel like you have more responsibility on your shoulders. And this responsibility, to a lot of people, it might seem a bit imposing, a bit more scary, to have like a decent level of responsibility on your shoulders, because a lot of people, again, they have a very bad mental health, right? So they're not used to the idea of having too much responsibility. I mean, there's a lot of people out there who genuinely, they're like 20, 25. They've lived their entire lives with no sense of responsibility. Like, genuinely, they've been so sheltered by their parents, and they've gotten everything that they wanted from their parents and everything, or from their family. They've been kissed in the ass their entire life, and once they're like 20, 25, they don't even have any kind of responsibility. They don't even have that sense that, okay, they should have some sort of responsibility. So they end up wasting their lives away, and they end up being 60, 70, and they wonder where the time has went and how the fuck they've wasted so much time, right? But there's also, those people who are genuinely like, what, 14, 15 years old, and they're working jobs. They're literally working jobs. They're working harder than most people out there. Those people that, they found, they're lucky that they've genuinely determined this purpose, this meaning to their life, which they're now aligning more of their time to. Or if not, they're not doing that necessarily, then they're simply doing it just to provide for their family, which is quite sad, that they're working more than the average person out there just to provide for their family at 14 or 15. Like, genuinely, that's fucked up, right? But those people, they will end up in much higher social places and much higher social standards than anyone else. Those are the people that get to the top. Those are the people that set everyone else aside from the social hierarchy, and they go straight to the top. and they dominate every single man out there. The people who work hard since they're young, the people who have realized a meaning, they've realized what their meaning is from a younger age, and they've gone through it. And maybe, maybe you're like 18, you're 20, you're 25, and you're thinking like, well, shit, I have never had that meaning. I'm living in my life right now with no sense of responsibility. What the fuck am I supposed to do now? Well, again, add more responsibility to your life. And the best way I think that you can ever do that is by finding your purpose, by finding that meaning, or by trying to get as close as you possibly can to doing that. And I think you do this just through spending a lot of time thinking. That's it. Just spend a decent, solid few hours a day just thinking. No distractions, no stimulations, no music, no nothing. Just think. Think about where you want to be in the next 5 years. Think about where you want to be in the next 10 years. Think about the way that you impact the world. Think about the way that you impact your family. Think about the way that you impact yourself. Like, you have all these ideas that you must think about, and those hours of reflection will be the most important hours of your life, in a sense, because they will be what will genuinely lead you down the path that you've always wanted to be on. So, once you find this sort of meaning to your life, you find this sort of mission that you want to follow, at least for the present moment, or at least for the short-term future, then you start focusing on the habits and the routine, and you start setting things in place in order to achieve that mission, to achieve that goal that you set up for yourself. And that's essentially how you become responsible. You add responsibility to your life, you become much more considerate of yourself, of your surroundings, of the people around you. You become more considerate of your own success. It's no longer this thing that just seems so far away, because you've envisioned the goal, you've envisioned this success that you want to have in whatever domain, it doesn't matter. And now you know that you see yourself with that success. You see yourself there, and you think to yourself, well, if I see myself there, then the possibility is there. The possibility for me to get there is existent. And so you will have this glimmer of hope, and you will start honestly knowing that you can get there, and you'll start believing in the fact that, oh man, I have a chance to get there. And the sooner you start focusing on actually achieving that success, again, don't set like all these unrealistic standards and all these unrealistic successes. Well, yeah, I want to drink margaritas on the moon. How the fuck are you ever going to drink margaritas on the moon? It doesn't make sense, right? But set a realistic goal, a realistic scenario for yourself, right? And follow it. And try to set goals based on that scenario. Try to set goals like just how you set goals to literally just lead you to that end scenario, right? So you see yourself maybe in 5 years jacked, fully fucking jacked, going to the gym every day, and you are very disciplined, and you are very, very in love with what you're doing and everything. And maybe right now you're struggling going to the gym, and it feels horrible, it feels hard, it feels like it's just never ending cycle of pain or something like that. But you see yourself in the next 5 years jacked and everything, and you think to yourself, okay, well, if I see myself there, then there's a possibility of it happening. It's a realistic mission, it's a realistic standard, it's a realistic goal. I can do it. And so you start aligning more of your life towards that meaning. So then you start thinking of all the things that you should be doing to get to that end point. So, okay, well, I should start focusing on my diet. I should start focusing on the way that I train. I should start being more disciplined. I should start doing this and doing that. And all those things, they will literally make you more responsible. You will be, because at the point that you truly believe, like that point in your life when you truly believe that you have the possibility to achieve this goal, like that's when the responsibility is set on your shoulders. That is when the weight is on your shoulders. Like just in the second that you realize that you have like this success that you really want, and you realize that you can actually achieve it, the second you truly believe that you can achieve this success, you'll have a massive weight put on your back. I mean, not massive, not necessarily massive. You know, you'll be able to carry it very well. Don't trust me on that. You won't. You'll be very capable of carrying this weight in a very powerful manner, but you'll have this weight on your shoulders. You know, you have this responsibility. And for a lot of people, you know, that's very scary. So that's why they never envision any kind of goals. That's why they never envision any kind of different life from what they have right now, because they're scared of that weight that will be put on their shoulders. They're scared of that responsibility that they'll have to face. They're scared of sacrificing all those things in their life which they've been addicted to their entire life. It's, you know, and well, that's not going to get you anywhere, you know? You know, being scared of responsibility, being scared of being a man, being scared of acting like a proper fucking man, that's not going to get you anywhere. Being scared of it's never going to get you anywhere. You have to accept it, and you have to like indulge in this feeling of wanting to become a man. You have to feel like that is your purpose, you know, to become this strong person, this strong masculine person who can provide for his family and who can take care of his family, who can take care of his loved ones, and who can subsequently take care of himself. Yeah, man, you need to focus on this achievement of these goals in your mind, and you will become more confident, and you'll become much more capable of harder things, and that will essentially make you realize that you have to do it. You genuinely have to be there. You have to do those things, because those are the only this is the only way that you're ever going to get to that end goal, right? That you've set up for yourself. And you know that if you don't achieve that goal, if you don't achieve that end meaning that you've set out for yourself, maybe for the next 5 years, the next 2 years, or maybe your entire life, if you don't achieve that success that you've set out for yourself in the next 2 and 5, or your life, if you don't if you don't achieve that success, you will be tormented by your mind. Your mind will genuinely torment you, knowing that you're not making meaningful progress towards your mission, or that you're not really on track, or that, you know, you're starting to fall off. Your mind will torment you. You will have like all these unachieved potential in you, right? And all this, it's like all this unachieved potential is just trying to talk to you. It's trying to speak to you, and it's trying to tell you, come on, do it, do it. If you want to get to achieve this true potential within yourself, then you have to push yourself, and you have to do those things. You have to do those things which will get you to that success. And so, if you just ignore that, if you ignore all those responsibilities, when you, after you've truly realized what your meaning in life is, and you just keep living your dull bullshit life, you'll be tormented. You'll be genuinely fucking tortured by your consciousness. Every single moment of the day, you'll feel like shit. You feel horrible. Even when you'll be like doing all those habits that you've been addicted to, and that, you know, brought you so much pleasure in the moment, you know, which made you so, I don't know, so ecstatic in the moment, you know, a month ago, a day ago, yesterday, when you didn't know what your meaning was, you know, now they won't bring that same pleasure to you. You know, they'll just gradually stop being that pleasurable, and you realize that they're not pleasurable anymore because you don't need those things anymore. They're no longer part of your mission. They're no longer part of your goal. Your mind doesn't require them anymore. You know, maybe that's genuinely. I remember when I used to play video games and everything, and a lot of people used to be like, "Oh man, a few years ago when I just started playing this game, it felt honestly amazing. It felt fun to do it. It felt just like the fun of my life to play this game, right? But then the years pass and I realize that I no longer enjoy it. I no longer even enjoy playing on a computer, guys. What's wrong with me? Am I falling in depression? Am I doing this? Am I doing that? No. No, you're just starting to realize like your potential within you is genuinely just starting to manifest itself into you, into your actions, and you no longer deem those things that you're doing at the moment as worthy of your time. And that's why I used to feel, and probably you used to do that as well, or you still do if you play video games, that after I play like 3, 4 hours of video games a day, I close off the computer, not 3, 4 hours, that's bullshit. No, more like 4 to 6 hours a day, you know. I used to close off my computer and everything, and I just stayed there on my chair for a second, complete silence around me, and I'd just be disgusted with myself. I genuinely be fucking disgusted with myself. I genuinely feel repulsed by what I just did, by the time that I've wasted. I felt repulsed by the fact that I was sitting on this uncomfortable chair and I was just literally like hunched in this position like this, my neck standing out like this, like being a fucking incel. I had been fucking my day over, and I felt disgusted by it. And for that's genuinely, I think, part of the reason why I started self improvement. Because yeah, those games that I played that no longer felt enjoyable. They no longer felt like they had any kind of meaning to me. And that's because they genuinely didn't have any sort of meaning because my unfulfilled potential was starting to get in my face. It was starting to tell me, come on, come on, come on, get your shit together. Get get back on track and do this. And I just didn't really know what I wanted to do. I didn't really know what my mind was trying to tell me. So I was just numbing it, and I was scared of responsibility. Because of that, I was scared of responsibility. I was trying to deny it. I was trying to deny this. And I was like, yeah, well, I can do some kind of progress towards this goal, but while still playing video games. But then, I knew in my mind, I genuinely knew that that was not going to happen. I genuinely understood the fact that while I was still doing all these addicting habits, while I was still having those addictive habits in my routine, my day, I would never get anywhere. I would never be somebody in this world. I'd never be able to provide for my family. I'd never be able to be close to them. I'd never be able to keep them safe. And that thought was just very scary to me. And I realized that I have to change because I have to start adding responsibility to my life because if I don't, then I will end up being this sweaty, horny, weird motherfucker in his mom's basement just playing whatever the fuck, playing War Thunder for 7, 6 hours a day, playing Unturned and Minecraft and whatever the fuck for 7, 6 hours a day. And the rest of the time I'd be masturbating and watching YouTube videos like that genuinely have no fucking meaning. Like they're all these just entertainment videos. I'd be watching movies, I'd be wasting my life away with no responsibilities. But then I realized that I don't want to end up like that. And so I got my shit together and I started adding just a bit more responsibility to my life every single day. So every single day I stopped, like, I added this huge responsibility at first, right? Which I think is really beneficial, that I just stopped playing video games one day and I thought to myself, okay, I'm not going to do it anymore. And that was a huge responsibility on my shoulders because that meant that I was taking on this challenge, right? To quit this addictive habit that's been destroying my life for years, right? And me just saying one day that, okay, I'm not gonna fucking play video games today. Not tomorrow, not in a week, not in two. I'm not gonna fucking play them anymore. Like that idea felt alien to me because I've never ever experienced something like that. But I realized that fuck man, I have to do it. And so I added this huge responsibility to my life. Literally, just from the start, don't play video games. Do not play video games. So I went on my computer, I deleted anything which meant video games, which meant launchers, which meant any kind of game platform. I deleted everything that could remind me of those things. I deleted photos from my phone, from my computer. I deleted screenshots, anything that could genuinely just trigger something inside of me. For a while, I genuinely focused on trying to fill my day with other things. And so I quit video games, I quit masturbation. Stopped, after a while, I stopped watching movies altogether. Stopped watching any kind of shows, any kind of wasteful piece of content. And I've added more responsibility towards the direction that I truly wanted to go towards, which meant achieving my success, achieving this financial freedom, at least for myself, so that I can provide for my family. I can provide and keep them safe and, have this sense of security in our lives so that they don't have to work their asses off every single day. So that I can also be a man and provide for my family, that's the responsibility that I've set out on myself for the past several months. And yeah, I have to stick to it, or else I will be tormented by my potential. I'll be tormented by my possible outcome within me, that's just genuinely telling me, yeah, come on, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. You can get there, do it. Yeah, man. Start adding more responsibility to your life in gradual steps, maybe, or just go straight all out and genuinely like destroy all those things in your life, and just experience a new sense of existence, like experience a new set of feelings in your life, of emotions, even if they might be like overwhelming at some point. That's the challenge. That's the fun part of being a man. You will have to face these challenges in your life, and you will have to overcome them, because life in itself is a challenge that we have to overcome. Yeah. Hope you got some value out of this video, bro. Good luck.